Here are my 2023 aviation goals.
That's like autopilot, dude.
How do you fly a helicopter? Well, I'm going to show you.
As 2022 wraps up and we look forward into 2023, I wanted to go over my goals for the next year, what I want to do with aviation, how I want to grow, how I want to get better. But I also want to hear all of your things. So I think I've got 5 points, 5 things that I want to do with aviation in 2023. I want to hear 5 things you want to do with aviation in 2023. So as I'm going through this, I want to hear yours. So put those down in the comments below and let's get started. So my first goal for 2023, and this is definitely the biggest goal, is to get 2,300 helicopter PIC hours, 2,300 helicopter pilot and command hours. The reason that I came to that number is in January of 2023, so next month, I will hit 1,500 helicopter PIC hours. 1,500 to get up to 2,300. The reason I came up with 2,300 is it is like 2023, so I thought that was like a reasonable goal. Why didn't you do 2,500? Well, to go from 1,500 to 2,500 is 1,000 hours, and to do 1,000 hours in a year is doable, but it is kind of challenging. Like, that is a ton of hours to fly in a year, and it's probably not realistic next year to do 1,000 hours, but 800 is realistic and it's kind of a fun goal. So 2,300 helicopter PIC hours next year. Another reason why that's a big deal is 2,000 helicopter pilot and command hours really opens the doors for most jobs. Now, there's another thing that I need, turbine time. I don't have a ton of turbine time, so that's one of my goals for this next year, but 2,000 helicopter hours really opens the doors. All right, my second aviation goal for 2023 is 230 nighttime hours. So 230 nighttime hours, the way I got to 230 is I'm at like 130-ish nighttime hours. It's like night and night cross country hours. I want to get above 200 hours. I want to fly helicopter EMS, and one of the requirements typically for helicopter EMS is about 200 hours of nighttime. So if I'm at about 130 now, 100 more would put me at 230, which is kind of fun because it's 2023. 100 more nighttime hours for a total of 230 nighttime hours is goal number 2. All right, goal number 3 is kind of 2 things, but it's really one thing. Goal number 3 is to fly big helicopters and fly turbine helicopters. My experience going through the helicopter journey is I always wanted to fly big, cool helicopters, fly turbine helicopters. That was always the dream, but you can't start off immediately doing that. So the way I did it is I just went to flight school. I was flying piston helicopters. So I started off flying the Robinson R22, and then I flew the Robinson R44. I got a little toy here. This is like a Matchbox Robinson R44. I went from flying the 22 to the Robinson R44 to now flying the Cabri G2, and they're all great helicopters, but the downside is they're all piston helicopters, a little bit power limited, a little bit less reliable than turbine helicopters, and the goal for me was always to fly turbine helicopters. So in 2023, I want to make the transition and I want to be flying something big, something turbine, something building that cool helicopter experience. As much as I love piston helicopters, the goal has always been to fly turbine, to fly big, cool, like what you imagine helicopters to be. So I want to fly something big. If I had a dream helicopter to fly in 2023, it would either be the A-Star, the AS350, or the Bell 407. Those are like the entry turbine transition helicopters for people going from piston to turbine. They usually get into those helicopters, and I would love to fly those helicopters. So that is a big goal for me in 2023, is to fly a big helicopter and to fly a turbine helicopter. Goal number 4 for me is kind of more like a personal thing and something that I'm really excited to get the ability to, and you're just gonna have to follow me with this. But goal number 4 for me is to slow down. I kind of want to slow down on the aggressive flying, how fast I'm accumulating the hours. And it's like, it's kind of an interesting thought because it's like, you're flying so much, and I love flying helicopters. Like, it's my passion, my love. I've got a YouTube channel about it. I love flying, but I'm kind of excited to like hit 2,000 hours, kind of just reel it back in a little bit, you know, because right now I'm flying 800 to 1,000 hours a year, which is a lot of time to fly. And so once you hit that 2,000 hour mark, if I could just reel it back in a little bit, maybe flying like 500 to 800 hours a year would be the prime. Anything more than like 800 hours a year, it's a lot of hours to fly. And once you're at 2,000 hours, you're pretty much at the baseline for all of the big cool jobs that you want. There's not too many jobs that require 2,500. Some require that. There's very few jobs that require 3,000, 4,000, or 5,000. So once you get to 2,000, you can kind of just slow it down a little bit. I'll still be flying a lot. I'll still be doing at minimum 500 hours a year. So like 5 years from now, I'll be at like 5,000 hours, which is great. But just slow it down a little bit is what I want. I guess the overall thought with that is like, once I get to 2,000 hours, I'm not in a massive rush anymore to get those hours. It's like the entire time getting to 2,000, it's like, I gotta get those hours, I gotta get those hours, I gotta get those hours so I can get to those jobs. But once you get there, it's like, I can breathe a little bit. Like, let's just slow it down, chill out for a second, breathe, fly a little bit less, still get as much out of it as you want. But once you have 2,000 hours, you're like, okay. And finally, the last goal for me, number 5, is to get my fixed wing commercial pilot's license. So I'm actually pretty close to this, so I anticipate I'll be able to do this in the early part of 2023. Getting my fixed wing commercial pilot's license, am I gonna use it a ton? Probably not. I don't necessarily think I'll be doing a ton of it, but just to get it out of the way. And I feel very comfortable flying airplanes. I just gotta take the check ride, but just to get it out of the way and to be a commercial airplane pilot, you know, I've had a lot of great experiences in the airplane and I really do enjoy them. But right now my passion is definitely helicopters. I love helicopters. I'm gonna keep going with helicopters. If I ever needed to fly an airplane, or if there was ever a job that required me to be dual rated, like a commercial helicopter pilot and a commercial airplane pilot, at least I've already got that out of the way and I can like apply. And to be completely honest with you, it has been quite easy to transition from, I did all of my helicopter stuff. I went private, commercial, CFI, IFR, whatever, all of my helicopter stuff first, just helicopters. And now getting my commercial airplane license has been quite easy. And I'm sure it would work the same way. If you do all your commercial airplane stuff, it'd be pretty easy to jump into the helicopters. I think it would definitely be harder, but at least you know radios and communications and airports and navigation and stuff. But to go from helicopters really difficult into airplanes a little bit easier has not been that challenging. So there you go. Those are my 2023 aviation goals. I want to hear yours down in the comments below. Let me know what you want to do with aviation or just in your general New Year's goals. That's what I want to do specifically with aviation. I've got other YouTube goals and financial goals as well, but this is like career aviation goals. Let me know yours down below and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.